Kyle and Buda are growing like crazy, and it's going to completely transform the lifestyle of living in those suburbs. From new trail systems connecting to all the different developments, to new residential and commercial developments coming, and even big names like Tesla breaking ground in Kyle. You also have massive companies like HEB going to build another store. You know these towns are about to change. Stick with me and let's dive in and explore what's coming to these booming areas. Hey guys, if you are new to my channel, my name's Steph Bartone, your local Austin area realtor. I help people all over the states move here to Austin, Texas. If you're looking for more information on moving to this area, feel free to call or text me. My number will be on the screen. Let's get into it. All right, massive changes are coming to Buda and Kyle, and we're gonna start with Buda. Buda is a small town about 15 to 18 minutes south of Austin. It is in between Kyle and Austin, Texas, and it only is about 18,000 people. It's a pretty small, cute suburb city. Something that I love about Buda is that it has its small town feel to it still, but it is growing. And we're going to see tons of changes coming to the area. We're gonna go over what they're calling the Project Sprinter. So it is a $27 million mixed used project, and it's going to be about 18.5 acres. It's gonna be on one of the main roads in Buda, FM 967. And it is going to consist of medical buildings, commercial buildings, and they're looking to put in a restaurant with pickleball and sand volleyball that also is kind of like family friendly. They're looking to really bring into where like a family that has kids can come hang out, enjoy the outdoors, very similar to what we see in South Austin area, and bringing that into the Buda community. So it's going to be, they have not named the restaurant, but a restaurant that is going to have a good outdoor space. Again, pickleball, which is blowing up in Austin, sand volleyball, and tons of outdoor green space that will have a public playground. This project is looking to start mid next year, and the restaurant hopefully in the third quarter of next year, with full retail coming earlier of 2026. You know, anything that they're bringing to Buda, they're really trying to keep the community feel. If you know anything about Buda, like I said, it is a very small town community. It's very different than Kyle, which we're going to jump into later in this video. But Buda is one of those towns that, you know, you run into people when you go into restaurants. It's a very small suburb city to where, you know, you really know your community, and people that live in Buda are very community oriented, and you'll see that if you ever go to different events in Buda. So it's something that I truly love about Buda. Now, looking at the Buda housing landscape, obviously with the amount of people that are looking to move to the Austin area, the suburb cities are blowing up and they need more housing. So what they're trying to do to, you know, keep things more affordable is that they are looking to put in about, you know, 70% of residential single family homes, but they're also looking to mix in, which I've already seen coming to the Buda area, is some townhomes and standalone condos. Also, obviously, apartment complexes. But for people that are looking for a minimal lifestyle, that don't want to, it's kind of like a lock and leave. They don't want to take care of their front lawn. They don't want to have to take care of the exterior of the property. And with that, you know, the HOA fees tend to be a little higher, but it really gives you the, you know, just looking for, whether you travel or just looking to have like, you know, just a really minimal lifestyle and not have to really take care of like a really large yard. You don't have, you know, kids. So really you're just looking for that, like that minimal lifestyle that you don't really have to take care of a whole lot of your property outside of, you know, the four walls. You don't have to spend extra time taking care of like your lawn and landscaping, sprinkler systems and all that stuff that comes with a house. So I think that's going to be really great for, you know, just the community overall. I think some of the generations are really looking for that minimal lifestyle. So, you know, having townhomes and condos is a really great option. It also is a lot more affordable to live in those. So you can get a townhome or a condo starting at least right now, in the 300s into the 400s. When you're looking at single family homes, typically those range at a minimum of 400s plus, especially if you're looking at new construction. A big development coming, and they've already broke ground. Next, we're going to talk about is the Colony at Coal Springs. It's a huge master plan community that has already broke ground. They're very early into the stages of breaking ground, so we probably will see this development mid next year into, you know, years to come of this master plan community. It is coming in on 967 and 1626. So those are two very main roads in the Buda area. 1626 runs up to the south end of Austin and it all the way down into Kyle. This is just going to be off a road in between those two highways. You are very close to Buda downtown. You are on the west side of the highway, which gives you easier access into Austin, and also known for better schools being on the west side. This community is going to be built by two different builders, and they are looking to have 530 residential units. They are also going to have a bridge that actually crosses over to Onion Creek. So as they continue to build these developments, what I've noticed is that they're really trying to integrate everything to make it very easily accessible, whether you're on a golf cart, whether you're walking, whether you're on a bike. You know, I'm going to talk about it a little bit further in this video, but they're really trying to integrate everything together to make it easy for the community to have access no matter like what part of town you live in. All right, so the next development we're going to talk about is called White Oak District. It is also on FM 967. So you might be thinking like, oh wow, they're putting a lot in this area. But 967 and FM's 1626 actually has tons of land, and it's already been purchased. Most of it's been purchased. There's still tons of vacant land. And, you know, this is where we're going to see like a mass amount of development. And again, in that part of town, you're only like 15 minutes, even like 10 minutes from South Austin. So you're really in close proximity to being into town. Or, you know, Buda is really built to where you don't have to really go into Austin. You can go into Kyle. Kyle has everything you need. And again, we'll get into that a little bit further into the video. But, you know, that's what they're really doing with these suburb cities. They're trying to make it to where you don't have to drive into Austin unless that's something you prefer or you work into Austin. But Buda, again, is super close to Austin. And this new development is going to be for medical offices, retail, and family-friendly restaurants. They're really looking for some local coffee shops and different like boutique local shops that they can put in. You know, again, Buda really focuses on the community and local owners. Later in this video, you'll notice the big differences between Buda and Kyle, and I'll get to that later in this video, but there are major differences in these two cities. So stay tuned, stick with me, and we're gonna talk more about all the different things and really hopefully can help you decide if either one of these cities is for you, but if they are, which one would be better suited for you. If you know anything about Buda, there is a subdivision called Sunfield. It is on the east side of 35. It was the first master plan community on the east side of 35. There are multiple communities coming to the east side. Sunfield is about to make a huge expansion. They've already owned land for a really, really long time, but it is the only community that has a lazy river. Yes, that's right, a lazy river. It also has a pool. It has parks, it has trails. It is, again, close to Austin, except you're on the east side of 35. There is a fitness gym. It's really a lifestyle to live in Sunfield. So they are expanding. It's a $3 million project, and they are looking to put in a second, from what I've heard, a second lazy river with a pool and an amenity center as they continue to grow and expand this amazing master plan community. The next big thing that's coming to Buda, it's called, and they've already started this project, it's called Rack Fit. So from my understanding, it is going to be a big fitness center. This is going to feature pickleball courts, tennis courts. They're also going to have tons of green space. They're also focused on the outdoor space. They plan on having food trucks, beer and wine, smoothies, and again, they want to make it family friendly. And you know, I really do think Buda needs this. So we're starting to see this in North Austin, Pflugerville, we're seeing it in Cedar Park, we're seeing even some of it coming to South Austin. There is something coming to South Austin, but this is going to be huge for the city because Austin is like all about outdoors, and that's why I think Austin area is different than most major cities in Texas. But this is going to be really big for this area because there's just nothing like it. And I think, you know, these suburb cities need something like this, especially down south. So you know that cities are expanding if you get a second HEB. Yes, that's right. They are proposing a second HEB. They've got one in Buda that they may or may not be remodeling, but they're looking that HEB already owns the land, whether they do it now or in the future. It looks like HEB is coming to Buda bigger and better than they've already done. And, you know, again, when you see these big companies moving, it's a big flag of like, hey, we're growing and we're expanding. And so no matter what, whether it's now or a few years down the road, I would say, you know, get into these cities before these bigger companies come in or as they're coming in, because that means this town is going to boom. So I see Buda really growing into keeping the tight fit community that it has, but continuing to expand on the east and the west side. And I'm going to speak about it here shortly, but how they're trying to connect it all to make it super accessible no matter where you live, to really be able to travel on either sides. One of my favorite parts about Buda is their downtown. Their downtown has so many amazing restaurants, and they've got more up and coming. There's a new one, or new-ish one, called Ma Coco. I have not been there yet, but I've heard amazing things about it. There is Louie's Barbecue, which is a food truck. There's also a place called Ty's Q. That's a food truck. There is Mudbugs, there's Brooklyn's, there's The Taste on Main. And the cool thing about it, again, is all these are locally owned businesses. So I'm excited to see what's coming to Buda. If you have any questions or if you're thinking about moving to the area, I have a guide and information packet strictly just for the Buda area. Please reach out to me and I will send that to you. Shoot me a text or a DM in the comments below, or just give me a call. Pick up the phone, give me a call, and I'm happy to speak to you to see if this city could be a great fit for you and or your family. We are now going to talk about Kyle. Kyle is very, very different than Buda, but it's right next door. So Kyle is made up actually of about 65,000 people, which is quadruple the amount of the people in Buda. It is a larger surface area, which means there's more growth in the area and a lot more areas to grow. Now, the difference in Kyle and Buda is, like I said, Buda's very community-based, small town feel. Kyle, you definitely feel, not in a bad way, but like the corporate feel. You have a lot of the big names coming in. You have all like, you know, corporate chain restaurants coming in. Now, don't get me wrong, they have local stuff, but you will see a lot of like, you've got like your big shopping centers. You've got, you know, your Walmarts and Costco and all the like big restaurants like Texas Roadhouse and Chick-fil-A's and all these different bigger restaurants. Now they have added restaurants that are Austin based, which I love. So they do try to put in some of that Austin love into Kyle, but Kyle is definitely more commercialized in my opinion, which means that there's going to be a lot of job opportunities in Kyle. So yes, this city is seeing a massive amount of growth, but that means they're going to see a lot more jobs coming through. So it's great for the growth of the city and to keep the town healthy. You know, I mean, when you see jobs booming and coming into the cities, you know that it's a great opportunity to not only move to, but to invest into, whether it's now a development that is looking to potentially have a 7-story hospital. It's a St. David's Healthcare Hospital. They're looking to have 2,000 plus residential units, plus a public park. And this is going to be located at Kyle Parkway and Kohler's Crossing, which is on the north side of the city. It's right next to the HEB, west side of the highway. So again, this space has already been purchased, and they're proposing different ways of how to utilize this, but it looks like it's going to be more of retail and medical use. They're also looking to put in like a waterfront park and some different style restaurants. So I think that's pretty cool. That area, if you know anything about like where the HEB is in Kyle, there's tons of growth, retail, restaurants, and the west side of Kyle is also booming. The next one we're going to talk about, this is actually on the east side of Kyle, and again, this land's already purchased. This is called the Project 2-Step. This is a huge project coming to FM 150 and near I-35. So 150 is one of the main roads that runs through the east side of Kyle and has seen tons of developments as far as subdivisions, and we're starting to see some commercial developments. So it looks like they already started the apartment complex from what I could see, but they're looking to have 350 multifamily homes, 24 townhomes, and at least 150,000 square feet of commercial space. So what they're looking and proposing to do with this mixed-use space, which I think is really cool, is rooftop pickleball courts, amphitheaters, fountains, interactive ponds that you can actually paddleboard in, which is something that's really big in the Austin area. Loving the outdoors, parking garage, a dog park, and the connecting with the Vibe Trail system, which I'll get to here very shortly. Also, they're looking to have like public art and murals. Hopefully we'll see some local artists, because again, that's something that we see in the Austin area, which, you know, just really keeps Austin to its unique touch. So I love that they're trying to bring that down into the Kyle area. All right, another development that they're looking to propose is called the Grove. It looks like it's going to be 99 acres of mixed use. It looks like we're looking at a maximum of 400 single-family homes, townhomes, 300 market rate multi-family units, and also 350 affordable units that are going to be priced 50 to 60% of the region's median family income, which is really cool because, as we know, as all these cities continue to grow, Austin being one of the fastest growing cities in the nation, and now the 11th largest city in the nation, that we need affordable housing. So I think it's really cool that they're bringing it down into the KYLE area. This is also going to have 11 acres of commercial space, which they're looking to put in like a local South Austin cafe and marigold market, and other potential amenities such as acres of open space, sports courts, playgrounds, a potential Hayes County facility, and it's going to also connect with the Vibe Trail that we're about to jump into. So the Vibe project that I've been talking about is something that is still in proposal, but they are really pushing create this Vibe Trail. What this is going to be is it is 51 miles of proposed golf cart trails, 12 miles of sidewalk connectors, and there's already about 9 miles worth of non-golf cart natural trails. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to connect where you can get to the east and the west side. They're connecting all these different master plan communities together, so you can jump on your golf cart or jump on your bike or walk throughout the city of Kyle and have easy access without having to drive. Because as we know, here in Austin, unfortunately, you typically have to have a car. There's not a ton of walkability unless you're in close proximity to where you're going. So I think this is going to be really cool for the city. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd really like to hear what you think on this type of project, and you know, what all these developments are up and coming. So please drop a comment. I love engaging with all the comments that I get in and hearing, you know, are you looking to move to this area? Is it something you've thought about? Is it something you're thinking about now? Or do you just absolutely not like this at all and this is just not for you? Drop it in the comments. Let's keep going. So the next one that I think is really important, that's probably not as fun, is that they are looking to have a new Hays County water plant. Now, Kyle has fought with water restrictions probably for at least the last couple years. Now, we don't see a ton of rain, and we haven't seen a ton of rain over the last few years, which has affected, you know, multiple cities in probably Texas in a whole. But Kyle, seeing the mass amount of growth, the second fastest growing city in the whole US right now, is seeing what they think could be a water shortage. They are looking to develop the water plants. Now, you know, the water that's coming from the aquifers, they're looking to dip into one of the aquifers that are closer into the Hays County area, and hopefully this will help and make a significant milestone in regional water infrastructure, because again, this area is booming and it's growing, and with that being said, they need other sources to be able to make sure that, you know, the city doesn't run out of water. So that's a big project that's up and coming, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. Tesla has bought, or is leasing, I believe, 1 million square footage of industrial warehouses in Kyle. I think they're leasing 3 out of 5 of those warehouses, which means there's jobs coming to town. Tesla is a huge company. We know that it's blown up in the valley as well as Bastrop, and it looks like they are looking to bring that to Kyle. Now, they haven't really announced on what type of jobs those are yet, but again, when we see these major companies coming to small cities like this or booming cities like this is a good sign. Kyle also has a pretty cool downtown. Now, in my opinion, I think the Buda downtown is definitely more developed, and they are in the process of revamping the Kyle downtown. Kyle is known for Texas pies, so they do have a Texas pie company downtown. They've also had huge, like I said, major names come into the Kyle area, like Z Tejas, one of my favorite places, Snooze, Best Brunch, Tony C's Pizza. We've seen Hays County Barbecue, which I hear is really amazing and actually has really good rates. And this local place called Dirty Dough Cookies. So if you go and eat those cookies, just let me know how they are. Cover 3 and Cover 2, which is one of my favorite restaurants in Austin. They also opened up a place called Whiskey Ridge just west of Kyle in a small town called Driftwood. You're almost into Kyle, but it's just outside of Kyle in Hays County. Whiskey Ridge is supposed to be a pretty cool concept out there. I hope I didn't bore you too much, and I hope you got tons of value out of this video. I wanted to introduce you to some up and coming developments in the Buda and Kyle area. There's tons coming to these areas, which means, in my opinion, it is 2 cities that are worth investing into for the long term. So if you have any questions, if you're looking to relocate to Austin, please reach out. Again, my name's Steph Bartone. My phone number is here on the screen. Call or text me. Also, if you're looking for any further information about Buda and Kyle, shoot me a comment or just pick up the phone and give me a call, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.